Hello! Have you ever heard of Pride and Prejudice or Emma? Yes? And do you know who its author is? With this video you will find out. I am Grace Vidal, and in this video we will talk about Jane Austen, a very well-known writer who appeared in the Romantic period. So let's start. Who was Jane Austen? Jane Austen was an English novelist who was born in 1775 in the Kingdom to a minister, George Austen, and his wife Cassandra, and she died in 1817. Although the Austen had a comfortable income, they were not considered rich, especially since there were 7 children in the family. Austen's parents encouraged Jane and her siblings to have a passion for learning, and Austen wrote that her family were great novel readers and not ashamed of being so. In an age when gentle young women could not seek gainful employment, marriage meant financial security. The pressure to marry was strong, and Austen examined that pressure through her work with a witty and satirical eye. Although Austen never married, she is believed to have had a brief engagement with a suitor from her village, until she broke the engagement a day after it was formed. Jane Austen never traveled beyond her middle-class circle of family and acquaintances, typical of English village. The life of this small town residence became the inspiration for Austen's most memorable work. Jane Austen is known for 6 novels: Sin and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Mansfield Park, Emma, Persuasion, and Northanger Abbey. So let's talk about one of them, Pride and Prejudice. Pride and Prejudice is a novel of manners. This type of novel focuses on the social customs and values of people in a particular social class. Because of this novel has themes that tend to focus on the values of the social group they are writing about. For example, a novel of manners today may focus on online dating sites and apps. While many novelists have written this sort of novel through history, Jane Austen is famous for her novels about the domestic life of the English gentry, people in the upper class that often own land in the countryside. What is the background of this novel? In 18th century England, property and other finances usually belonged to the husband or father. For this reason, it was often necessary for the middle-class daughters to marry into wealth. After the death of a father, a family's estate will go to another male relative instead of a wife of their daughter. A brief summary of this novel: that is, a wealthy single man, Mr. Bingley, moved into a small English village, causing a stir amongst Mary's mother, who viewed him as a potential husband for their daughters. Mrs. Bennet, with her 5 eligible daughters, is elate when he seems to favor her eldest, Jane. Bingle's friend, the wealthier Mr. Darcy, is introduced as arrogant and prideful, and a contrast to a greater Mr. Bigg. Jane Austen novels had the most significant effect on upper middle class individuals' attitudes toward education, and her novels made many individuals think about it in a groundbreaking new way. Her influence on individuals' attitudes toward women and marriage was also clear, but not nearly as significant as her influence on people's attitude toward education. Jane Austen was the first major British writer to make extensive use of both action and dialogue in fiction. Austen's dialogue is also realistic, in keeping with her characters' backgrounds and traits. For example, as Mr. Bennet in Pride and Prejudice is intentionally witty, and Mrs. Bennet is not witty at all, so she often makes us laugh. While Austen novels were popular with the public and many of her fellow authors, it was only after her death that she received critical acclaim, and that was by Sir Walter Scott, who wrote in his journal about her work. Thank you.